they voted down, I should say. They are now discussing a resolution about naming a road in memory of Charlie Kirk. Let's go ahead and listen in here live from Lake County.
That is a right that we have as Americans, and the idea that we would try to not even have a discussion here today because we're afraid that someone's going to be offended. I mean, that's like 2 deaths, you know, it's the assassination and then let's shut down his legacy. No, let's talk about his legacy and let's talk about what he really stood for. And as Commissioner Smith said, if you look at the whole context, you see that some of these difficult issues, while he might have gotten a little rough at times, and I guarantee you if he could go back and he could fix a few of the things that he said, he probably would, but he was delving into issues that are important issues that we can all agree that we might disagree about, but we should not shut down public dialogue. And to me, that's what he stood for, and I think that he's worthy of being honored. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Jacqueline Arndt, and then Janet Mailer.
Before I begin, my name is Jacqueline Orange. I live in Mount Dora, and Lashana Tova, since this is also a Jewish country, not only a Christian country. I'd like to express serious concerns about Commissioner Sabatini's proposal to name a road in Wellness Way after Charlie Kirk. It will set a troubling precedent and contradicts the principles that should guide our community's approach to public honors. First, consider the divisive nature of this choice. The road names should unite our community, not divide it. Charlie Kirk is a polarizing political figure whose rhetoric frequently inflammatory and exclusionary. But public infrastructure should reflect shared values and broad community consensus, not partisan politics. When we name streets after controversial figures, we risk alienating significant portions of our citizenry who use these roads daily. Second, we must consider the standards for such honors. Traditionally, communities name roads after individuals who have made direct positive contributions to the local area. Longtime residents, civic leaders, veterans, educators, those who served the specific community. So what does...
You left out national leaders. Please don't misrepresent the ordinance.
I do have the floor.
You purposely left out the ordinance. Yeah. Do not misread the ordinance.
What connection does Charlie Kirk have to Lake County? What?
AI probably wrote it to just be real, and AI always makes little mistakes.
Local contributions warrant this permanent recognition. Third, this sets a concerning precedent.
He doesn't actually know the ordinance. He just left it up to AI to know it.
If we approve political figure namings without clear criteria, we open the door to endless partisan battles over our public spaces. Every election cycle could bring new demands to rename roads after favored political personalities. Our infrastructure would become a revolving door of political messaging rather than a stable community assets. And then finally, consider the irony of the location. Wellness Way suggests health, community, well-being, healing. Associating it with a divisive political figure fundamentally contradicts the peaceful, therapeutic connotations the name currently evokes. Lake County deserves leadership that brings us together, not initiatives that create unnecessary division. I'm sure there are many worthy local heroes, teachers, first responders, veterans, community volunteers, who would be more appropriate and less controversial choices for such honors. I respectfully request that you vote against this proposal and work toward naming policies that truly serve all local county residents. Thank you.
Okay, all right. I've already said it like 100 times a day. No clapping, please. All right, Janet Mahler is next.
If I could, Chairman, just real quick, can we please come up with a board policy right here that if somebody is disrupting the meeting more than twice, that they are removed by our deputies? Because at this point, this is just out of control. I've been up here for a year. If this was Tallahassee, let me tell you, if this was the state capitol, one time you interrupt a meeting, you'd be escorted out. One time. Yeah.
You cannot.
Give respect. You interrupted twice.
We're gonna have to.
Stop it, please. All right, we're going to have a discussion. Everyone has a chance to talk. All right, use your time at the podium to say what you want to say.
I'm going to use my time at the podium, and I'm going to ask that I not be interrupted, just as we did not interrupt you. My name is Janet Mailer, and I am a native of Florida. I am new to this area. This is my very first meeting, and I'm telling you, I am in total shock and awe as I listen to what's going on here. But I would like to share a thought about the proposal to name a street after Charlie Kirk. Street names are permanent markers in our communities. They become part of our maps, our addresses, our children's sense of place.
Dude, so many
and because
people
of that,
don't
we
want
need to
it.
take great care before attaching a public honor to any one individual. Mr. Kirk is a figure who inspires very strong feelings, both positive and negative. Some seeing him as a leader, while others view his words and actions as deeply divisive. This division itself is reason enough for us to take pause. A street name should unite, not divide. It should represent values the whole community can take.
Continuing to listen in
Don't
to
do
this, we've got to
that.
take one more break this hour here on Fox Local.
Piece of
But we'll be right back.
fucking-
Get you
Yo, that's ridiculous, dude. Why the fuck do they have to take internet breaks? I'm just trying to find another source for it that doesn't do that, hopefully. If there's not, that's some straight bullshit. Oh, it's the only source for it. What the hell, dude? Wait, why did it start? They changed their fucking title. Okay. All right, give me a second. Copy and paste the wrong title. Why is anything coming up? I have to do a commercial, man.
back inside this as the for two Charlie Kirk.
Commissioners are entrusted to ensure fair taxation, infrastructure maintenance.
Why did they have to interrupt us to show us whatever the fuck this is? Why did they have to take us up there? Make any damn sense? Fox does that stupid all the time with the bang 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 bang. The military, get your dick chopped off. Do you want to be a tranny tonight? Join the Navy. See the world. See the world.
Listening in to public comment at the Lake County Commission meeting as the board considers renaming a road for Charlie Kirk.
Commissioners are entrusted to ensure fair taxation, infrastructure maintenance, prudent budgeting, and protection of the rights and freedoms of the people who elected you. Every vote you cast should reflect the needs of Lake County residents, not outsiders, not lobbyists, not individuals who hold no stake in our community. The special recognition for individuals who do not reside in Lake County may appear harmless, like a symbolic nod or a street renamed. But symbolism in government carries weight and it sets precedents. When a commission extends honors to a non-resident, it risks three dangerous outcomes: erosion of trust, dilution of identity, and gateway to favoritism and influence. Recognition should be reserved for the men and women who invest their time, labor, and love in Lake County. Every county, like every family, has its own culture, its own struggles, and its own victories. By elevating outsiders, we risk diluting the very identity of Lake County. Our recognitions should tell our story, not someone else's. Today, it's a street renamed. Tomorrow, it could be preferential treatment, political leverage.
But if it was a George Floyd Parkway, they would have been all for it, bro. If it would have been a George Floyd Parkway to commemorate the fentanyl overdoser with a long rap sheet, all day they would approve that shit.
Or resources diverted from Lake County residents to outside interests. And once the door of recognition is open to non-residents, it can be walked through by those with money, power, or political motives. Commissioners, the people of Lake County demand your loyalty. That loyalty must be demonstrated not just in budgets and ordinances, but in the very symbols and recognitions you issue in the name of the county. To honor those who do not live here, who have not contributed here, and who are not accountable here is to betray the trust of your constituents. Instead, I ask that you lift up our teachers, veterans, farmers, small business owners, first responders, community volunteers that are the true heartbeat of Lake County.
Thank you.
In closing, I urge the commission to remember your oath, your duty, and who you serve. Lake County's voice belongs to the people of Lake County and no one else. In God, for freedom, thank you.
Charlie Kirk probably did more for Lake County than all those
Mr. Van Syke.
she just named in her Lake County. Sure, they've heard of him though. Like, he's probably never heard of Lake County, but they know who he is before he was shot, probably. Like, who the fuck knows who their first responder guy is? Nobody knows. I knew who Charlie Kirk was, though. You see the difference, lady?
This afternoon. Good afternoon. Mr. Sabatini, I want to commend you for bringing this forward. I don't know that I agree with it. I wanted to say a few things about it. Obviously, you're definitely a strong right Republican. I am independent now. I've been Democrat, Republican. I don't really fit in either party very well. I am socially more liberal. I am fiscally conservative, so I fall in that more independent area. As far as this country goes, you
must be an emotional support dog kind of guy.
My 9th great-grandfather arrived here in 1632-ish, roughly, in what is now known as Battery Park. He was one of the first 500 people, West Indies company, that came down to what is now Lower Manhattan, New York. My 7th and 6th great-grandfathers grew up in Pennsylvania. Then we moved from Pennsylvania to Iowa, to Colorado. My 3rd great-grandfather, or 4th, I lose track when on the numbers, but grandfather settled in California. I grew up in Colorado. I lived there for 52 years before I moved down here.
Life story we're doing right now.
Why I came here to Central Florida was to learn. I grew up in a county that was totally white and Hispanic. We had no African Americans in our county. We may have had a few, maybe 100 Asian people in our county. County is about 12,000 people in Colorado. So I had a very narrow view of the world and came here to learn about diversity and learn about people that were different from.
He came here. But he was like, you know what? I'm going to move to this area. I'm going to learn about diversity. What a guy.
Me and where I grew up. And I commend Charlie Kirk. I've never heard of him until he unfortunately was assassinated. Shows my generation age. I don't pay attention to the internet. But this fella is somewhere between the extreme left and extreme right of what you hear on the media and things. I am open for debate. I love debate. Healthy debate is good. But extremism and fueling fire and agitation is not healthy.
Extremist.
So I would say that I'm against naming this road for this individual.
People don't know.
Maybe in a year or two.
Who the fuck he is. They just pretend like what they're doing is they're condemning him for what other people say about him. Instead of, he's just admitted, yeah, I don't get on the internet. I just heard who this guy is. And what I'm hearing about him, I don't like. That's what's happening.
When emotions are settled in the country and things, come back and look at it with a more wise perspective of his real impact on the country and see if it makes sense to move forward in that direction. But I think right now, the emotional state of the country, we need to just wait and pause on it. So I would say push it down the road a while.
You guys are fucking silly. You're some small town outside of Orlando. It's not like the country is going to start rioting because you named your little bitty street after him. Like, your city's not even going to riot. No one's going to do anything. But if this was different, like if this is a George Floyd Parkway and Republicans got this shit shut down, something might have broken that night.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And good luck.
All right, the next card is Gavin Brown, and what are the odds of this? The card after that is Gavin Rollins.
Reparations.
So-
They all
Two
were
Gavins.
George Floyd. They, you know what I'm saying? All black people were like, I'm George Floyd. Yeah, if we get the Parkway, that's for all of us.
To think growing up we couldn't even find
Idiots.
a keychain with our name on it. I would like to
we
thank
got
the
a
commission for allowing
supporter
its
here.
residents to be here today and have a say on this matter. I think and I hope we can all agree that hearing out the voices of all the people
He's
is
not a
what the
supporter
bedrock of
with
this
that
great
jacket.
nation is all about.
That'd be crazy.
I do take a little aim at one comment, though. I do like fact-checking. Martin Luther King Jr. was not a Democrat or a Republican. He was just a great American leader who worked to not divide us, to unite us. Let me just start off by saying that I believe what happened to Charlie Kirk was truly appalling. I hope we can all agree that political extremist violence from either side is not the answer to political disagreements, nor reflect the American values representing our freedoms of expression and free speech with regards to our God-given constitutional rights. I feel terribly for the Kirk family, just as I did for the family of Minnesota State Senator Melissa Hortman and her husband, who were fatally shot inside of their home by an extremist gunman in June. Both of these cases were equally as tragic, and both should be remembered as such. These types of incidents, while higher in profile, sadly have become the norm in today's politically heated society. Both of these could have been preventable with better understanding of common sense gun control laws, which do have broad appeal across the political spectrum when discussed in such a manner.
Never mind.
I'm sick and tired of hearing thoughts and prayers and deeply concerned. When you pray, move your feet is an African proverb popularized by civil rights leader John Lewis, meaning that prayer is not complete without corresponding.
Fucking Dems shouldn't be allowed to wear 1776 attire because they're as far away from 1776 as you could possibly get, right?
Action. What we should be doing is trying to stop these senseless political acts of extremist violence and hate from continuing happening daily in our schools, places of worship, and public places. These deaths are as equally as tragic, but sometimes get forgotten the next day. So I'm here today because I believe that we should be focusing this memorial for something more focused toward Lake County and its residents. Charlie Kirk already has plenty of other areas around the country already planned for such, which included a primetime televised national memorial ceremony. Why don't we take this moment to be more localized with our county resources and history and put up a memorial to show what makes Lake County great again. This is why I propose we focus our time and energy with this proposal to instead honor a truly beloved fallen hero who was killed in the line of duty and who called Lake County home. That person is Lake County Deputy Bradley Michael Link, who was also a U.S. Army Reserve veteran. He had served with the Lake County Sheriff's Office for 4.5 years and had previously served.
Now the Dems are Blue Lives Matter in it. What is going on, man? Anything but Charlie Kirk.
with the Polk County Sheriff's Office. Just like Kirk and Hortman, he left behind a loving family, community, and fellow comrades who still mourn his loss to this day.
They hated
Deputy
cops.
Kirk died while honorably serving this county in the line of duty and should have just as much attention and praise from this commission and community. Wouldn't it be more suitable and ideal to have a memorial to honor someone who fought to serve and protect us? Have a true, actual Lake County resident who was a brave American hero. I hope you believe, as I do, in supporting.
We had 3 minutes.
And our local law
These people
enforcement.
flip-flop.
And let me just
Or
tell
they
you this:
flip-flops.
in these dark dystopian times, let's remember Deputy Link, and
Just-
let's look at the
We had 3 minutes.
Try to like
unite and not divide us, and that includes you, Mr.
persuade.
Savage.
How dare you use that deputy's name for your petty bullshit political argument? How
Thank
dare
you.
you?
All right.
Yes,
How dare you?
Exactly.
All right, I'm-
Disgusting. You're a disgusting person. How dare you? Unbelievable, man.
All right.
Awesome.
I got it. All right. This is ridiculous. All right. No, everybody's to blame for that one. All right.
Get 'em.
Let's go to the next speaker.
Gavin Rollins, and I agree that Deputy Link should be memorialized. I think the Marine unit out at Hickory Point Park would be a great place for that. I know he loved the water, and that was a part of his career and service, and I attended his memorial, and I definitely wholeheartedly agree that he should be.
It would be tagging that thing up in no time. How many people would that dude put behind bars? You know what I mean? How many? You get anybody a felony? You get anybody in prison? A memorial for a police officer? Is that even a thing? How many of those does our city have? I don't know of one.
Memorialized. I don't think it's an either or. I think we can
Cleaning it constantly,
hold up
bro.
and lift up people who have had an impact on our community. And I think there's this misconception that just because Charlie Kirk was not a Lake County resident, that he did not have an impact in Lake County. I attended a vigil recognizing his life where we peacefully sang
Kirker.
and remembered and talked about the impact he had. And I looked around and there were students from all across Lake County there.
I just want to point something out. He's the best dressed person to come up to that microphone so far, and he's a Charlie Kirker. Charlie, that's how much he like Charlie Kirk had power, man. He had power to touch people all over the world. That's why the street should be named after him, probably.
And I remember one particular parent posting on Facebook how she
you were
didn't really
aligned
even
with
know
his
Charlie-
beliefs. You were looking dapper. You were going to a podium like this. So he came through and made Charlie Kirk look good. I appreciate it.
Charlie Kirk was, until one day she noticed a difference in the lives of her son. She looked, and her son's friends, she looked around and her son was dressing better and wanting to be more respectful and wanting to honor his parents and things like that. And those were some of the things that Charlie Kirk talked about: honoring your parents, having civil discourse, stepping up. He called the men specifically of our country to
Billy.
step up to the plate and be men. And one of the things that I think is so tragic about all this and has gotten lost in such emotion is the reason Charlie Kirk was on college campuses, and the reason that when people would come and ask him, why are you on college campuses? He said, because when discourse ends, violence begins. And he was cut down violently trying to have civil discourse. And that certainly, whether you agree or disagree with everything Charlie Kirk said, I happen to know him. He was a friend. He was an honorable man, and I agree with a lot of what he said. Not everything, but most of what he said. But whether you agree or disagree, agree with the idea of what this name, road, stands for, which is the idea that we have to have discourse. We have to discuss with people we don't agree with. And that's how we do things as Americans, not violence. And I encourage you to name this road after him and honor Deputy Link.
Thank you. Tricia Nicholson. And
Continuing to listen into this Lake County Commission meeting, some really tense moments a few moments ago. Apologize for the language that we heard from Lake County Commissioner Anthony Sabatini with a strong reaction when someone recommended naming the road instead of after Charlie Kirk, naming it after Bradley Link, the master deputy in Lake County who was killed in an ambush shooting. We're going to get you back inside this meeting as a number of people continue to offer public comment. And we will be right back after this, though. We're going to take a quick.
Fucking do. Missed the fucking idiots. I'm sure they were hilarious. Man, damn it. Would have been better than this lady. Shit, they look like blue hairs.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Susan Palenko, and I am a retiree and homeowner residing in Lake County for 20-plus years. I am a very patriotic adult child of 2 World War II veterans. My father flew 60-plus bombing missions, earning the Distinguished Flying Cross. Both I and my parents stand for the America of yesteryear, where differences are tolerated and respected, where people are not disrespected, illegally dealt with, or discriminated against because of their race, creed, sex, sexual preference, religion, nationality, or ethnicity. I am so very sorry for the death of Charlie Kirk.
She thinks he's racist.
But the problem I have in affirming his life is that he simply did not affirm the life or have empathy for the lives of all Americans. And I noticed Mr. Sabatini carefully left the room. His speeches were full of bigotry, intolerance, exclusion, and stereotyping. For example, on January 23rd, 2024, on the Charlie Kirk Show, he definitely said, "If I see a black pilot, I am going to be like this."
That's in regard to DEI, and it's only because the last 4 years the airlines have been flooded with DEI hires, and we don't know who's who. It wasn't like that before. Bitch, you're taking that out of context. I already know what she's talking about.
Hope he's really qualified. That cannot be taken out of context.
Yes, it can. Dude, hey, yo, when I can be at Costco. Dude, and if I see a new employee that got hired within the past few years during the Biden administration, I can see fucking anybody, actually. If they're acting fucking slow at the register, if they're really slow checking people out, like, and there's the old timer there that's fucking busting ass, I'm immediately going to think, was this guy hired during the DEI phase? No matter what color they are. For real. If they're slow, I'm thinking, is this like a Walmart door greeter hire at Costco we got going on here? Do they feel sorry for the guy during Biden administration? What's going on? You know what I mean? You can definitely see people and think, when did he get hired? What year did he get hired? I think that's what he meant by that, isn't it? Is that what you guys think too? Anyway, she didn't actually figure out why he said that. It sounds like she just took the quote, because his quotes to persecute him are flying around all over the internet that the Dems are using. They're just taking really small pieces, like, yeah, see, it can't be misconstrued. That's what he said. He said black people are bad or stupid.
2025, he said, America has freedom of religion, but in reality, large dedicated Islamic areas are a threat to America.
Yeah, and if you look at England, you'll see what's happening out there. Some of the neighborhoods are starting to do fucking prayer to call 5 times a day and getting away with it somehow. Yeah, can you imagine if you live next to one of those things 5 times a day, and it starts at like 5 in the morning or something crazy? It's dark when the first one happens. So that could end up happening here if all of a sudden these people start voting. They're like, There was that dude, where was it? Minnesota or some shit? He was gonna get elected in. He looked like the dude from the Somalian pirate movie. I am the captain. He looked at that dude, but they ended up, like, I think he's not running anymore because they found out there was a, like, election fraud or something going on with over there. I don't know what's happening with that dude now, but like they'll start electing their own people in and started changing the laws. Before you know it, our country isn't our country anymore. That's how it happens, lady. Wow.
He also
but she's World War II and all this shit. I respect what your family members did, but they probably wouldn't agree with what the fuck you're talking about right now.
Advocated for the actual stoning of gays.
I don't believe that. I need to repeat that. This lady's ridiculous.
Dedicated.
I wish you two would stop. Leave each other alone. Jeez. Constant.
Islamic areas are a threat to America. He also advocated for the actual stoning of gays. And I simply don't support the renaming of a road for someone who didn't respect and value the rights of all Americans, not just those who supported his beliefs. And I know I can vouch for my deceased veteran parents in not being in favor of the renaming of this road. So I ask you, commissioners, to please rethink the renaming of any road after Charlie Kirk. Thank you very much.
Oh, what is this? Hold up. Stephen King has apologized for claiming that Charlie Kirk advocated for the stoning of gays. King made the initial assertion in a since deleted social media post written after Kirk was shot and killed. I apologize for saying Kirk advocated for stoning gays when he actually demonstrated was how some people cherry pick biblical passages. What he actually demonstrated was how some people cherry pick biblical passages. That's all the quote from Stephen King. Wow. So that's where this lady got from. Wow. It's not real. And so now everybody up there is like, oh, he did? Oh my God, stoning? He was a horrible person. The grandma said it so. She's got this essay, or this resume of all these great people that were in her life. And look, she's so old. She knows. She's so wise. No, she's a dumb bitch, actually. Spreading misinformation. Google should ban her ass.
Good afternoon. My name is Marilyn Orr. I oppose the naming of the road.
That's fucking mildly infuriating, because all these people that heard what she just said are thinking everything she just said was facts, because she's an old lady and she's definitely going to fact check everything before she goes up in front of all these people and talks, right? No, she didn't fact check fucking anything. She just went up there and blurted out shit.
I read Sabatini's statement
so annoying.
When he said the dedication is meant to honor the life of a great American.
Now I definitely want to slap her, but I'm not allowed to. I don't want anybody else to, but I want to.
He spoke racism, bigotry, and divisiveness. He spoke to all white colleges. He never went to a black college and had a word or advice to any of them.
I need to fact check that now too. Dude. Why doesn't it give me an answer? How can I find this out? Did Charlie Kirk ever go to an HQ2? He would have never thought. Why are they saying he wouldn't have thought it was a valid institution? Do you ever talk about them? They're going to use everything they can against him, dude. We never went to an HBCU. I don't know the names of all of them to like search it. All that's coming up is the recent shit that just happened too. Is flooding. They didn't. Ask for a list of whose campuses. Yeah, I don't know. I've been trying to search for stuff like this recently, and it's really hard to get it on Charlie Kirk. Specifically, the information on Charlie Kirk's past, where he would, what country, I couldn't find what countries he's debated in either for some fucking reason. Easily, the AI wouldn't just bring it up. I feel like the AI is controlled by Democrats, dude. Surprised there's not something on here with dates. I could just put Charlie Kirk, turning point, list of turning point. Probably never had a turning point event at one though. They weren't. Were they always? I guess they were always turning. Why is it? Why can't I get a list, man? Isn't that odd? The AI will give you literally everything else in the world. Try to search for Charlie Kirk information. You're on your own. I don't know.
He didn't go to Florida A&M, FSU, University of Florida, because they didn't want him on campus.
Oh, well,
he spoke violence.
That's different. That's different. So he was willing to go there, probably. They even asked to go, and they were like, no, you can't. How would she know that they didn't want him there? He must have tried to, and they didn't let him. Yo, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Who? I can't imagine them turning down any Democrat at any other college to come and speak. A Democrat, maybe an Alex Jones for sure. I can't see them turning down a Democrat, like fucking acting like Malcolm X or some shit. He would be, come on in and talk to our students. That's crazy, dude. That they wouldn't let him. They just wanted to spread misinformation about him. They knew that if they let him, he would convince them that he wasn't who they were saying he was, and he might start to get more black votes. Oh, they were keeping him out of HBCUs, dude. It's
and separation, not of peace,
they would have kept,
not of harmony.
They kept him
out.
He
was not Christ-like. Christ spoke of love and kindness.
Because if they would have let him in, he could have proven everything they were saying wrong about him. But they just kept indoctrinating those kids, and those kids are so far away from the events. And he just recently started really like hitting everybody's live feed or hitting everybody's recommends. I mean, so in the past couple of years, because I think YouTube might have even been suppressing him, dude. The Dems might have been suppressing him because he was spreading COVID misinformation, probably. Oh, I bet. Maybe. Possibly.
This man didn't.
Yeah.
Christ never bullied. This man did. No one's life should be taken away by a shooting like his was. And that was wrong. But Kirk spoke of living by the gun and dying by the gun.
Wow.
At the same time he was shot, children were shot. and no one is naming a street after them. A Minnesota congressman and her husband was shot.
Yeah, they were not as
And no one is
influential.
naming a street after them.
Weren't as influential as he was.
So I oppose the naming of a road in Lake County, a place that I have lived all my life. I grew up in Lake County. I went away to college, came back. I'm here in Lake County. I taught in schools in Lake County. I will not ever be able to look at a sign saying Charlie Kirk.
I mean, you're going
That's
to move?
not what I was brought to Lake County to be.
Lady, you're lucky you
Jim
can vote. We let you do all that other
McTeague
shit,
and
too.
May Hazelton.
Charlie Kirk wouldn't say that. I grew up in Tennessee, though.
So Jim, if not,
Memphis.
Jim McTeague.
Different out there.
Oh, I'm Jim McTigue.
McTigue.
It's long I, hard G, McTigue. McTigue. Anyway, I can see I'm not preaching to the choir here. Anyway, Simone Biles, the great American gymnast, the greatest American gymnast ever.
Wait, hold up, bro. Hold on, man. Hold up, bro. Why? What makes her the greatest ever? Because she's got the most gold or something? It's shit.
She had a problem with mental illness, and she was made fun of by a certain somebody that has no empathy, that empathy is not a word in our language. I believe empathy is a word in our language. It should be used.
They keep bringing that up without knowing the full context of it. That's also very annoying.
And then in 1933, they had a change of power.
Well, she is the most decorated.
In Germany.
There you go.
And they had a white supremacist take power. And that didn't go too well for everybody forever. They had a constitution. They had a Supreme Court. But that didn't matter. The guy got to do whatever he wanted to do. So we had another American hero go over there in 1936. Maybe you've heard of him. Jesse Owens. J.C. Owens. James Cleveland Owens went over there and got his gold medals. So what happened over there? They were not pretty happy with that because they just wanted the great white people to winning all the time. The great Aryan nation. So what happened after that? Normandy. I had family there. They went over there. Many of us had family go over to Germany and fight there. Some came home, some didn't. And we defeated that fascist nation.
This is fucking ridiculous because I don't know if you've seen the meme where it shows this blue hair with piercings everywhere with an Antifa patch and a black vest on or some shit looking up like a thought bubble, and it's like a World War II veteran, and they're like looking at it like, yeah, that's who I am. I'm a modern day that fighting fascism. They really, some of them really think this shit, dude. Antifa is the same as a World War II soldier fighting Hitler. I want to slap them for real, for real. I wish it was legal to slap them 10 times a day. It's not though, so I can't. So I don't recommend it either.
The Aryan nation. And then we didn't do it fast enough.
It is interesting how the boomers support it so much.
There was a Jewish girl that wrote a diary, and she didn't make it. She got sent to a death camp. And I would rather see her on a memorial than some people that
holy shit
did some good things, did some bad things.
This dude was an Anne Frank memorial all of a sudden.
That's how things are. And I would vote for somebody else getting awards than somebody that was good and bad, sometimes really bad, sometimes really good. Some people like him, some people don't. But that's not the person to memorialize. I'd pick somebody else. Thank you.
But I mean,
Good morning, good afternoon, commissioners and Madam Chair.
did that really separate us when we did that after the Civil War? When we put up, like, Civil War monuments on both sides were put up for the North and the South, for generals, for leaders. Did that really separate us? Like, were people, did people see that every day and they were like, fuck this city? I mean, why weren't they moving if it bothered them so much? Did it really bother them? It just seems like like people are nitpicking on shit, trying to look for something to bother them. Just, what? Really? Why do you care what the fuck? Dude, when I was growing up, and I don't ever really care what the fuck a road is named, honestly. Hey, you want to name it that? Sounds good to me. Huh? I mean, it's named Wellness Road right now. It has zero meaning. Give it some meaning. I mean, most downtowns have a bunch of presidents. Maybe they have a bunch of trees, walnut, oak, whatever. But give the road some meaning at least. If you don't like it, who gives a shit? You don't have to like everything.
As a Christian, I did not have to grapple with how to respond to the murder of Charlie Kirk. Like the majority of black people I know and every single one that I have talked to in and out of this county, in and out of this state, I will continue to speak out condemning the violence and declaring Kirk's murder was unjustified. All acts of violence are horrible and must be condemned. However, I have to balance sympathy with the truth. I have listened to Charlie Kirk's podcast from beginning to end. He mocked and dismissed diversity, equity, and inclusion programs as anti-white. He denounced the Civil Rights Act of 1964 as a huge mistake. He even reversed his initial praise of Martin Luther King Jr., calling him awful and a mythological anti-racist creation. Recent statements and reports from 2023, 2020.
Every time I hear somebody say, like, parts of his quotes, it makes me want to hear that entire paragraph or a couple paragraphs to really know what he was talking about, because dude was a genius, and this lady definitely is not a genius, so she might not have even been able to comprehend what he was talking about if she did hear the whole page.
2024 and 2025 indicated that he continued to express views about blacks that have been widely condemned. He created a professor watch list for faculty he accused of spreading propaganda.
Oh, that's good.
Based on documented information, there's no evidence that Charlie Kirk changed his views on the least among us that Jesus preached about. This is the moral and Christian ground I stand on. My faith in God allows me to have sympathy for him, but it demands that I tell the truth. Historically, the United States has seen youth movements of larger scale and impact than the one created by Kirk. These include the Civil Rights Movement of the 50s and 60s, the anti-Vietnam War movement of the 1960s and 70s, the March for Our Lives in 2018. The historical scale and societal impact of these three movements are considered to be measurably larger in terms of participants, scope, and lasting change. Finally, a central part of Kirk's work with the Turning Point USA was to go to college campuses and engage in debates, often under the banner of "Prove me wrong." Prove us wrong today that he did not use racial and hateful language. Prove us wrong today that he did not perfect language that was not nonviolent in character. Prove us wrong that we just missed the context of some of the things he said.
That'd be easy to do.
Prove us wrong that though it is left up to God to judge him, Kirk's own words prove that he would not have been the 13th disciple. In his view, the First Amendment protects all in speech.
Hold up, pause, lady. What the hell did that mean? Wait, his words proved that he would not be the 13th disciple. What? I think her speech is also written by AI too. She just prompted it. Probably never actually watched him. He was the opposite of wanting violence ever. It's crazy how these people think that he was going to make people more violent somehow. It doesn't make any sense, dude.
And I agree with Charlie Kirk's view. Thank you.
Michael Watkins, and then Susan.
Continuing to hear public comment from a number of folks who have strong opinions about the proposed renaming of a road in Lake County as Charlie Kirk Memorial Highway. We're going to take a quick break here on Fox 35 News Plus, but we'll be right back.
Simon, kick his ass if he keeps bugging you.
One, a live look inside the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office where we...
What is this? What is he doing? No, take us back. This is the title. Did this to me. There's no other source in there for some fucking reason. What a dick. Whoever the person is in charge of the station.
Or, know of.
Why isn't there another camera? These are always so boring.
A little bit.
Oh, then they went to this dumb shit. Look at the solar flares. Oh, we're all gonna die.
Well, I get
real. I'm glad, dude. I'm glad I wasn't watching this live. That would have been annoying. I had to just watch that shit.
Joining us this afternoon in Florida, and if you're wild hair, what we do pitching, we're going to talk improvement rates right now. Many of them are against this move of renaming a road after Charlie Kirk in Lake County. It's been a heated meeting just in the last hour. Appear to be over this. Taking a look as a library.
You son of a bitch! What just happened? What a bro. Whoever it is, I bet it's a DEI hire actually that's in charge of what's happening right now.
Head back,
That's the best thing that they have on TV, and they're playing all this other dumb shit. They don't want to show how stupid their people are. Yeah, cut it. It's making us look bad. Oh, is this the Long Beach thing? Wait, I haven't seen this. No, that's fucking not. Why would they be playing that? They have a bunch of their own shit. It looked like 7-Eleven though. Damn, man. They took it from us.
Leader country.
I'm
obviously.
This is it.
With large. Very much 2 weeks ago. As you all very well know, something very horrible and tragic happened in this country 2 weeks ago. Arguably one of the most famous and respected members of my generation, Charlie Kirk, who's one of the greatest Americans who's ever lived, and is already, just within hours of his death, been announced as a recipient, soon to be recipient of the Presidential Medal of Freedom, something that only 680 Americans have ever gotten. I think it's only appropriate that he deserves national recognition at the state, local, and national level. And so he has, if you don't know, and a lot of people don't know who he is if they're much older and they're not involved with sort of civic life at a younger generation, the largest youth leader, I'll just leave it at that, largest youth leader, I would say, in the history of the country. Certainly the largest amount of, he's led the largest civic revival of any American in the last 50 years, without any comparison. He's registered more voters to vote in American politics than anybody in the last 50 years.
And these are, of course, the qualifications of why Donald Trump has awarded him already the Presidential Medal of Freedom. 1,200 high school chapters of the Turning Point USA, 900 at the college level. He's somebody I knew pretty personally. I spent quite a bit of time with him. And so I don't think that any normal, sane person would ever speak out against naming a significant road after somebody as great as Charlie Kirk. It's not even a debate. If the debate is which road, I'm obviously more than happy. We have thousands and thousands of roads in Lake County, and I think a debate about geography and which road is obviously a healthy one. But I think it's very sinister that we received through our emails, the 5 of us, because we were copying most of them, emails from a coordinated radical left political campaign who sought to defame this young man who was slain down based on his political views, mercilessly killed, assassinated, leaving 2 children behind, literally days and weeks after he was killed. And I think I just have to say, because today should be a positive day of remembering somebody great, somebody who just on Sunday had, I think, what's now recorded as the largest funeral, largest memorial gathering in the history of the country. Had 90,000 people there, 20,000 in a nearby stadium, 20 million watching. It's only appropriate. So the question of what road we name after Charlie Kirk, obviously, I think there's going to be some more discussion on that. I chose a prominent road. I chose a prominent road that many people in Central Florida know well and travel every day. And the reason why is because Charlie was at one point a Floridian, had an enormous effect over Florida, and started dozens, if not hundreds, of college chapters of Turning Point, even some here, right here in Lake County at the high school level, and changed the lives of countless Americans. On top of that, additionally, he's one of the greatest evangelical Christians of his time, brought more people to Christ, and led a larger spiritual revival than anybody. Again, I mean this sincerely. I'm not trying to be sensational. I can't see how anyone
All right,
could
listen, I don't want to interrupt, but
Sure.
we don't do this. And if you're going to blurt stuff out and you're going to, carry on like this, I'm going to have to ask you to go. If you want to just sit here and listen, and then you have a chance, you can say what you want to say. But this isn't the way that things are supposed to work.
Again, it has to be said, how a person could be opposed to naming a road after somebody of such national significance, one of less than 700 people in the history of the country to receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom. It's announced, but it's coming in the following days, is beyond me. Especially when you have thousands and thousands of unnamed roads in this county and throughout the state of Florida. He was a great American. He was a great Christian. He was a great leader. Obviously, he's more than deserving of this honor. And I'm hoping every county steps up, and I'm hoping every city steps up to name some place or road after Charlie Kirk. He truly was, in my opinion, the greatest member of our generation thus far. An absolute American hero. Whose life will never be forgotten and whose message will never be cut down because of political violence from the radical left. And that is just absolutely disturbing that anyone could be opposed. With that said, I would move to approve this resolution.
I would like to thank the Commission for allowing us residents to be here today and have a say on this matter. I think and I hope we can all agree that hearing out the voices of all the people is what the bedrock of this great nation is all about. I do take a little aim at one comment, though. I do like fact-checking. Martin Luther King Jr. was not a Democrat or a Republican. He was just a great American leader who worked to not divide us, to unite us. Let me just start off by saying that I believe what happened to Charlie Kirk was truly appalling. I hope we can all agree that political extremist violence from either side is not the answer to political disagreements, nor reflect the American values representing our freedoms of expression and free speech with regards to our God-given constitutional rights. I feel terribly for the Kirk family, just as I did for the family of Minnesota State Senator Melissa Hortman and her husband, who were fatally shot inside of their home by political
They're replaying it, dude. Why did they replay that guy? Because he didn't talk right after that dude talked like that.
And
it's
Adam, how
maybe he did, but that dude might have talked during a commercial break earlier. This guy definitely,
he's old.
is all definitely voted for Harris.
Is this something other teams?
They're still in there. It's over. That's it, folks. Hanging out. If I could. Potato. Down as the Hammetry. Dog TV. Flip. Flop. Market Poppy. He flip flop early. I was your name. Flop. Hold it going. Ran